You always wanted to hit the perfect side volley? Then check out the following video. Before I will cover the 5 most common side volley mistakes and an exercise that will work on all of the essential skills, I first want to introduce you to the proper side volley technique. In order to make it as easy as possible for you to understand the side volley technique, I split the technique into 4 different parts that are divided into the moments where you touch the ground with your foot by making the next step. Keepers that strike the ball with their right foot should get in the same position as indicated in the video. Hold the ball with your left hand while you are leaning forward towards your target. Your left foot needs to be the one in front and should point towards your target as well. And if you follow these steps, you are now in a perfect starting position, which will eliminate unnecessary body twists and consequently improves the consistency of your side volleys. Part number 2 is called Develop Momentum, since we aim to develop the right speed and translate this momentum into the side volley after. Therefore, you should make a powerful step by moving your right foot to the front. Further, make sure that your eyes are now starting to track the ball precisely, since you need to be very accurate soon after. Please note that the ball is still in contact with my hand, but is about to be released during the next part. At the beginning of part 3, we first focus on the release of the ball. As soon as the right foot touches the ground, the ball is being released from your hand. As you can see in the video, I marked a yellow square in the chest area. I would recommend you to toss the ball into this zone, not higher and also not lower. Many goalkeepers are struggling with these serves, which should tell you that you really need to focus a lot on this part. Next, between the moment where you release the ball and the situation where you touch the ground with your left foot, you need to get in the perfect pre-striking position. The situation on the screen demonstrates you exactly this crucial positioning. In order to get into this position, we primarily need to focus on the following 3 parts of the body: the hip area, the upper body, and especially the shooting foot. In order to get the upper body positioned quite horizontally, the hip area plays a crucial role. The hip needs to make a twist to the left in order to be able to lean to the side. Please note that the twist is just possible by bending your supporting leg. If you follow these 2 details, you just created a great diagonal strength that is being supported by the outstretched left arm. This will translate into a more powerful side volley shot later. However, the most important part of the pre-striking position is the movement of your striking foot. As you can see in the video, the foot is rising incredibly high throughout the whole movement. As soon as the supporting leg is being bent, the shooting foot reaches its highest point in the whole side volley movement. If you have done all of those steps correctly, you are now set in the perfect pre-striking positioning. Part number 4 is probably the one that you have been looking forward to the most. Moving forward from the pre-striking positioning, the main focus should now be completely on your shooting foot. As I mentioned earlier, the foot has already reached its highest spot, which means that the foot is now moving downwards and to the front. During this movement, you try to hit the ball with the following area. Hitting the ball in this area with your outstretched foot ensures that you deliver the power that you developed with your previous movements onto the ball. Following the ball with your eyes shows you how good your side volley actually was. The perfect side volley translates into a nice and vertical backspin of the ball. In addition, the ball should always stay as low as possible, so that the side volley will be easy for your teammates to control. A very simple but often totally underestimated mistake is holding the ball with the wrong hand. Remember, you always need to use the opposite hand of your shooting foot. So, if you are shooting with the right foot, you need to start holding the ball with your left hand. If you are left-footed, you should be holding the ball with your right hand. If you don't follow this approach, it is basically impossible to twist your hip and move your upper body to the side in order to develop the crucial diagonal body strength. As previously shown, you should target to throw the ball into the chest area, in particular into the yellow zone that I also marked earlier. It is important to note that the higher you throw yourself the ball, the harder it eventually becomes to hit the ball with the right spot of your foot. Many keepers get frustrated with their poor side volley consistency, and this can often be related back to exactly this mistake. Before we will get to the next 3 common mistakes and a very helpful exercise to train your side volley skills, I please you to give this video a like if you enjoyed watching it so far. And in order to be the first one who gets informed about the latest keeping content, I encourage you to turn on the notifications. You do so by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell that is appearing next to it. Thank you very much for your support. I indicated already earlier that the shooting foot needs to reach its highest spot before you strike the ball. Especially in the side volley learning stages, it often happens that the shooting foot reaches its highest spot after the side volley strike. As the video indicates, this technique is closely related to the outdated punting technique and has not a lot to do with modern keeping. Usually the ball tends to get a very high and round curve, which makes it difficult for your teammates to control. Remember, as soon as you reach your pre-striking position, your foot should just move downwards and to the front. With this movement you ensure that the ball gets this beautiful side volley backspin, which makes your strikes more accurate and consistent. Many keepers forget to lean with their upper body to the side, which has 2 negative effects on your side volleys. First of all, an upright upper body fails to develop the essential diagonal strength, which makes it basically impossible to translate all of your power into the side volley strike. Secondly, it is also very tough to execute a proper shooting foot movement. As previously discussed, you aim to reach the highest spot with your shooting foot before you actually strike the ball. With that being said, an upright upper body limits the movement since it's nearly impossible to lift your leg as high as necessary, and results in kicking the ball high up in the air instead of driving the ball low to one of your teammates. As you can see in the video, setting the supporting leg in the wrong position can be very painful. Especially when playing on wet and difficult surfaces, it is even more important to focus on the right positioning of your supporting leg. The video shows that my left foot is turning very far to my right side, which causes that my foot is not well balanced on the ground. As a result, I wasn't able to get enough grip on the wet surface, which resulted in me having some smaller bruises on my body the next day. One week ago I asked you on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter on which of the 3 side volley elements you need to improve the most on. Your amazing feedback on the social media platforms made me realize that each of you has totally different deficits when it comes to the side volley technique. And that's exactly the reason why I now want to introduce you to an exercise that works on all of the 3 elements of a side volley technique. accuracy, range and timing at the same time. As promised earlier, I will show you now an exercise that was mainly responsible for skyrocketing my side volley skills and helped me to become the goalkeeper that I am today. Instead of holding the ball the whole time in the air, we are releasing the ball before we start moving. This will eliminate less important pieces of the side volley technique and focus on the main challenges. You are throwing the ball up in the air with a little backspin, and you let the ball bounce in front of you. Now, your goal is to time your run perfectly. Execute the perfect shooting foot movement by moving the shooting foot downwards and hit the ball with the correct area of your foot. All in all, this exercise works on the most important skills of the side volley technique and will make the transition into game situations much easier. Keepers, have fun working on your side volleys and get one step closer of becoming a modern sweeper keeper.